Start at Jack.
Put on his mittens.
Excellent. I feel pride in my work. Every day I'm thankful that I am a literacy tutor for AmeriCorps.
AmeriCorps is definitely changing the world one community at a time.
I will get things done.
I love AmeriCorps. It has been an absolutely life-changing experience.
Yes, I am making a difference.
First thing I did actually was, after I started talking with some people, was take out a flip chart and I wrote down that this would be a domestic Peace Corps. It's like JFK, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. And I took that around to meetings with me and everyone said, yeah, that's a great idea, keep working on that.
We are an independent nonprofit. We can control our own destiny. That's allowed us to do for Minnesota what we really want to be able to do. It's allowed us to get the private sector as partners, our state legislature as partners, and to garner more federal resources for Minnesota than we otherwise have been able to do.
Serve Minnesota is really unique in that we are results driven with the programs that we have put in place.
Serve Minnesota is a great linker of partners and has proven they have the ability to take really good ideas to a larger scale.
I got the idea of going to Audrey to see if the Minnesota Reading Corps would be an idea the Serve Minnesota could use and could develop, and she was so enthusiastic about it.
I can see now that the vision that Alice had, which was to marry the science of how children learn to read with the resource of our AmeriCorps program, is so powerful. And so for us to know that the state policymakers are relying on us to get results is something that we pay constant attention to.
Every single time I'm thinking about reading or literacy, I'm asking my team, have you involved the Reading Corps? Are they part of this training? Are you part of their trainings? How are they aligned to our strategic planning materials?
I'm so proud of Minnesota Reading Corps and Serve Minnesota, the Made in Minnesota model. The first in the country to have focused, structured, research-based measurement to determine the progress and the results.
Is it scalable? Is it replicable? Is it affordable? And Minnesota Reading Corps hits all three of those.
When United Way goes out and selects a partner, we're looking for partners who can be entrepreneurial, who can actually deliver on their promise as well.
One of our great partners in education is the Minnesota Reading Corps. Part of AmeriCorps, this statewide literacy initiative is helping more Minnesota kids become successful readers. Target is proud to support this data and evidence-driven program that's showing continuous improvement and has become a model for schools in Denver and Washington, D.C., where we'll partner with Serve DC and Serve Colorado, respectively.
We have the data to indicate that for as little as $800 a child, we can ensure they're proficient readers. Additionally, we have data that indicates that children that participate in the Reading Corps are 3 times less likely to end up in special education. So you quickly get a picture of the cost effectiveness of the work.
What you're doing is really life-changing. I mean, important isn't even the right word. It's life-transforming. To take a child who can't read or reads below grade level and make that child proficient in reading, therefore learning, for the rest of her or his life is just life-transforming.
I was struggling academically. In 8th grade, I was truant. I was not going to school. I was being picked up by my truancy officer.
Teachers, administrators, social workers in the school system, they have really good intentions, but sometimes they don't have the time. So I think the benefit of having Promise Fellows is that there is someone in the school system who is completely invested in the development and the education of students like Josh.
Oftentimes, the Promise Fellows would meet me as I was leaving a classroom and say, hey, where is this assignment? Hey, what's going on with this class? Can we get together this afternoon so that we can keep track of the assignments that you have?
With the contributions of the Promise Fellows in Northfield, the graduation rate among Latin Americans went from 36% to 100%.
The Promise Fellow role in my life has impacted me so much that when I graduate, I will be looking to become a Promise Fellow just because I see the real need and the value in the work that they do.
I love pointing to programs such as the Minnesota Math Corps. That was one that had an idea early on, and we kind of nurtured it, and it's just taking off and then really across the state helping kids with math.
And I always said there's not many silver bullets in education, but there is one, that we care about every kid the same way we care about our own. And I do think that that's kind of the core mission.
What AmeriCorps can do in small towns that's absolutely amazing.
As much as you go into this thinking that you're helping people, you get way more out of it than you ever would have imagined.
All right, guys, let's go. We're going to play a game.
Honestly, thinking back 10 years ago, this was exactly what we had envisioned should happen.
You guys ready?
If you think about the language behind the birth of AmeriCorps, it's powerful rhetoric to say that we wanted to create a federal AmeriCorps program because states and communities need a resource to solve unsolved problems. Well, I really believe that.
The future lies in community. There's no question in my mind about it. In whatever you look at, whether it's health reform or education reform or energy policy changes, the future lies at the community level.
It feels good to make a difference just because I know that someone's better off after I help them than where they were before.
I love AmeriCorps because I love that when I go home, I feel like I changed a life, even if it was just this much. Every day I feel that way.
What ServeMinnesota has done is get out ahead of the curve. And when you're out ahead of the curve, the business community and all the other folks around there realize this is a good investment, and they'll keep investing in it.
And so what I guess I'm most proud of is that what we've started and what we're doing has legs. This is going to continue. And when you look across the other states, I think their interest in emulating some of what we're doing is a true testament that we really have something going on here. And I think it's a program the AmeriCorps and the state of Minnesota could be very proud of.
I would love to see all 50 states set up like we're set up. I think it is what was imagined with the authors of the National Community Service Trust Act, where they imagined that service commissions would embody the best thinking behind reinvention of government. I think this is that kind of a vision.